EQI 2.0, happiness. What is happiness? How content you are with yourself, how content you are with your surrounding, how much you're enjoying life. EQI also has a measurement of that. How does it measure it? Well, what it does is it takes remember there's 5 realms. Under each realm there's 3 items. It takes the 4 items that contribute most to happiness, and it puts a score to them. So let's put this one all together, and I want you to think about yourself. How happy are you? How happy do you think you are? Think about your team. Think about each member of the team and think where they are on a happiness spectrum. Happiness, not so happy, kind of cloudy, to, oh yeah, they're bubbly and sunshiny all the time. And I use this, I call this the Eeyore to Tigger spectrum. So you have some Eeyores, you have some Tiggers in there, so think about where you are. So remember, the 5 elements that we talked about, just as a quick refresher, first 2 are about yourself. First one is self-perception. Next one, self-expression. Third, interpersonal. Fourth, decision-making. Fifth one, stress management. So those are the 5 areas. Each of them have 3 elements underneath them. They chose 4 to measure happiness. And the 4 are, let's go through each of them. And as I go through them, I want you to think about yourself, think about your team, think about each member of the team. So the first one is self-regard. What you think of yourself, right? So that comes out of the first element, self-perception. What do you think of yourself? How do you feel? Are you happy with yourself or not? Next one is, so the next one it talks about is self-actualization. How satisfied you are with what you're doing. How content you are with what you're doing. So those 2 make perfect sense. It's about your view of yourself in those 2 areas. Next one is interpersonal. Interpersonal relationships. Where are you on the spectrum of interpersonal relationships? Are you high? Are you good? Probably has a good impact on you there. One of the interesting things as I talk about interpersonal, happiness they also call well-being. And you think about Gallup. Gallup does a well-being study every couple of years. And one of the measures of folks that have good well-being in the workplace is, does that individual have a best friend at work? Does that individual have a friend who they can lean on and talk with, so that way going to work, being part of work is social for them? So think about you, as you're in work right now, in your workplace. Do you have a best friend at work? Or if not a best friend, do you have folks that you can talk to and be vulnerable with at work? We all know as leaders, the more you move up, the more lonely it gets. Do you have that mentor you can go to? Do you have that colleague that you can go to? So that way you have someone to help you. If you have that, then you're going to be higher on the scale of happiness. Right? The 4th one is optimism. And that is just the outlook. Do you have a cloudy outlook? Do you have a positive outlook? Glass half full, glass half empty. What is your overall outlook when problems come your way? Remember, this is in stress management. Is where that comes out. Things are not going so great. Stress, it's your ability to see the positive, but it's also to be realistic. Okay, so we kind of looked at all of those. So happiness, well-being, it uses those to measure. But this is all about doing something about it. So what can you do to increase your overall happiness? Because what they found also is happiness and well-being improve EQ. EQ improves happiness. So they help you improve one, you improve the other. So how can you improve your overall happiness and well-being? First, let's start with the realm of yourself. The self, when you think about the self-regard and you think about self-actualization. If there's one thing that you can do for yourself personally this year or professionally, what would it be to develop yourself? It might be, I have to get better at delegating. If I can nail this delegating thing, my life is going to be so much better. On a personal side, I need to spend more time on some of my hobbies. There you go. What's the one thing you can develop personally and professionally? Interpersonal, do you have that one person at work? Do you need to improve a relationship to help that get better, so that way you have you increasing your in the interpersonal item, you're increasing the value of that relationship. Last one, what's your outlook? That's on the optimism side. Glass half full, glass half empty, cloudy, or sunny? What is your outlook on, but being realistic, what is your outlook when there's problems on the way you see things? Do you have a positive outlook that things are going well? What can you do to maybe look at and improve that overall outlook? There you go. So now we've put it all together. Next video, we're going to talk about how you can use this as an overall development tool for yourself and for your team.